So, Robyn. So I was in London, and she was in London working with Adam Kindness, and she was into Metronomy and kind of wanted to have some food. And so we went for some food, and then we went back to the studio where she'd been doing stuff with Kindness. And yeah, so it's kind of like, and then ended up just like getting a bit drunk. Which is like if you want to like, you know, if you want to become friends with me, it's a really easy way to do it. The first thing that I did with Robyn was, it was a kind of similar like thing to Hang That to Dry. I was doing a song for a kind of very like low budget, well it wasn't low budget, but anyway, not very popular film, Australian film called Partisan, which is done by like this guy Ariel Kleinman. And there was this film, and there were karaoke scenes in the film, and he got like me and Jarvis Cocker did a kind of pretend karaoke song. So it was like I was writing a pretend karaoke song, and it was a duet. I'd written this kind of like 80s duet, and like I'd literally just met Robyn, and I was doing this thing. I was like, oh, well, like, do you want to sing on it? And so that was the first thing we did, and then I did quite a lot more. And which is kind of ongoing with her, like just trying to write for her album and that kind of stuff, yeah. So Mixmaster Mike was my teenage hero, and I was trying to become a scratch DJ at the age of like 15, 16, listening to Hella Nasty by the Beastie Boys. And then he released an album called Anti-Theft Device, which is like a kind of turntablism album. And so when I was doing the song Old School, I thought like, oh, it needs a scratch break. Like the teenage voice, my teenage voice occasionally pops up in my head and it's like, needs a scratch break. And I listened to that voice and I thought, well, like, Metronomy are unknown, so maybe we can ask and like see what he says. And yeah, he was up for it. And it's nice because it's this like, the kind of completing of a circle, you know? Like Lady Gaga, right? Lady Gaga, right? She once, no, I think in 2008, maybe a bit after, we were doing a festival, I don't know where it was, but she was like it was just the beginning of Lady Gaga. And we turned up to our dressing room and where's the red wine? First question, where's the red wine? And the person was like, oh, I'm sorry, we had to give it to Lady Gaga. So I've hated her from that day on. Anyway, then she was playing at the same time as we were playing at this festival, and we of course had like 20 people in the crowd. No wine. What the fuck? No, but then like it was then. So then there was a remix thing, and I thought at the time at least I thought like they were asking about this remix, and I thought like, oh wow, like that was when she was on a real like high point. And I thought, well, it's kind of cool to be involved in this like cultural figure. So in Nikki, N to her friends, I think around the time of Nights Out, again, we were doing interviews and we were just like obsessed with Girls Aloud, so I just talked about them all the time. And then, sure enough, like she did a solo record and like asked, I guess because I was cool, asked to do some writing, and it was just like really good fun. And she was like the first pop like person involved in pop music that I worked with, and she was just very like kind of so like disciplined with singing and like had loads of brilliant ideas with writing and stuff. And yeah, we just kind of did a couple of days together. So with the Gorillaz remix, and then with all the remixes, like it's very unromantic. Like I think that for the most part, it's the label that kind of just says, "What about that?" So I'm not really sure. But then Benga's brother Cher was playing with not Gorillaz, but playing with Damon Albarn, wasn't it? It was a solo thing. And so like we met him I met him in a lift in Mexico. The funny thing is, like, the more you're involved in music and the more you meet your heroes, the more kind of like you kind of, your opinion changes of like who you think you'd like to do stuff with. So I don't know, I'm up for anyone. I like the idea of if I had the opportunity to like sit down with Rihanna and like say, let's write a song, Riri, like let's have a go. I'd do that.